Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. I promise after this point I'm abandoning counting the weeks.
Yeah.
13, whatever. I'll never do it again.
Is it 13?
Yeah, this is just the new normal.
I mean, this is last episode before June.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
What a weird year.
Year's almost over.
Imagine when
Halfway.
it's fall. When it's fall, it's going to be so depressing. Because you will have fully soaked in that winter or that summer.
Especially like come December, COVID will be rampant all over the country again.
Yep.
And
Season 2.
So we'll be in hazmat suits.
I'm pretty much setting sail in December. I feel good about now until December 1. After Thanksgiving, I'm gone.
What does
Gone where?
gone mean?
I'm not going to see anybody.
Undisclosed
going?
location.
Undisclosed. I just don't want to
Like
be
you're going to be
around.
in Palm Springs or
Like
something?
airplane?
That's exactly where I'm going to be, actually.
Yeah, that's what I
I already been looking at Airbnbs
Yeah.
for like 4-6 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around any of you people.
You're going to need content.
I'll tell you what, I went over the weekend.
You can stay in the guest house of
Nice.
my Palm
Sure.
Spring
I'll
house.
take a
as long
guest
as you're
house.
quarantined
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
You're
I actually
running
just
off
have to make sure.
Play beer pong.
Well, if
Hey,
you
dude,
stick
I'll
me
be
in
right
Palm
back.
Springs, I got nowhere to go.
You could play water pong with Dom.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Pete's got
I
enough
could-
energy for Dom.
Yeah.
Green
Yeah.
juice pong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there over the weekend and it was great. And it was super, just me and my girlfriend. None of the Pete shenanigans.
What'd you do for food? Go groceries?
Yeah. And,
Not a great delivery
you
option.
know, not a lot of people at grocery
Deliveries,
stores.
there's nothing there. There's not much food you can get.
Just Del Taco on
Yeah.
repeat.
The restaurants are closed there or are they open?
No, they're closed. It's the same as here.
Like Tommy
Like you can-
Bahamas wasn't open?
No, but you can go in Target.
Okay.
You can go in the grocery stores. Everyone's pretty mellow. And it's like, you know, like kind of empty. Like there's no vacay travel really. So
Yeah.
great place for a quarantine.
That's a socially distanced city
Anyway.
pre-corona.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so far just to go across the street. It's like 2 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, good call. Okay, let's get into it. D, what do you care about? You're caring? Are you feeling super caring right now?
No, me particularly, I'm a pretty caring person, but I've noticed, you know, I did a whole podcast on Detour about it, how like if people actually cared what they did at work, it would actually benefit them.
I care about, like, what do you mean?
Like your work quality, the effort you put into things.
Yeah.
You know, I just know, because what my point was getting across in the podcast was the most selfish thing you can do is actually care. Because if you actually care about the quality of your work and how that affects other people in your life, you will actually benefit.
Yeah.
Because people are going to take notice as a person that cares. And when in this time, we're about to talk about it, 40 million people unemployed. Those 40 million were obviously cut because of circumstances, but at every company, they're going through their roster of people, unless it's just like hospitality where everyone just got their head chopped.
Yeah.
But like, if you're making cuts, you're going to kind of go out on a limb for the person that, maybe he's not the most talented, but damn, that person cares.
Yeah.
There's oftentimes I've made decisions, I'm like, that person cares, but you know what? They're not the most talented or smartest person I have on the team.
Yeah.
And I just see that, I think the apathy of the workforce is going to affect them drastically in this unemployment crisis.
Yeah, and I was listening to a podcast where someone kind of said if you extract like a manager of 6 people in a company, they're realizing during quarantine you have 3 rock stars and 3 that just
I think
can't
Drama
swim.
said that last episode too. It's the same problem that we're seeing across.
Which
and,
is crazy. That's 50% of a team.
And
Yeah.
That you're
that's
realizing, I don't really need these guys.
that's what Zoom did.
But don't you think, not to go too deep here, but don't you think it's fundamentally like a caring about yourself and your own, like if you care about yourself and you care about your own progress through life, you care about doing a good job and having a good reputation. Like, don't you think it's fundamentally people just don't give a shit about things?
I agree with that. The problem is that is a much harder theory to get across to people.
Yeah.
It's easier to say you should care what you do for a living.
Yeah.
And then, because like self-care really only happens when something bad happens to you, right? Like you get a health issue, someone in your family has a health issue. Then all of a sudden be like, oh shit, maybe I should take it seriously. And even then, most people gauging by the Ocean City boardwalk, most self-care is not a popular topic.
Well,
I
if
just
they
don't
got
get-
Corona, they would start caring.
I just don't get why. I mean, inherently we're all selfish. Why can't you just tell people if you care about your work, you're going to make more money, you're going to live a better life? Like, why isn't it that simple?
It's like, why can't you tell people if you care about your life, be healthy?
Right.
It's just like too next level. The easiest way is like, I want a cheeseburger. Or like, I
Sure.
don't want to go to work today. You know?
Yeah, no, that's right.
That's a great Trevor Moawad. One of Trevor Moaw's lines is, you don't have to be sick to get better.
You don't have to get sick to get better. Okay.
You know, because a healthy person wants a million things. A sick person only wants one thing.
That's interesting.
That's Naval.
Okay.
That's
So if
Naval.
you want any more, I got a few more.
yeah. Give me another. Drop me with
Finally,
another
all
quote.
those books are paying off.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what all
Why
those...
post some quotes
I
then?
care. Let me tell you what.
You should,
I
every
care
day.
about myself, damn it.
Yeah.
Every day you should write like a little quote in your story.
Yeah, but I agree. I think it's weird that, and look, this is like fundamental for this is probably the best it's ever been, but like, there's just, with more access to information and money and resources and like than ever before, the fact that people just fundamentally don't give a shit.
Yeah,
But I think that, to your point, I want to tread lightly here because some people are just getting fucked.
Yeah, that's what I agree. And I don't want to make people feel bad that got laid off because most of this is completely out of their hands. But at least if you did get laid off and it wasn't your fault, you should go into your new situation saying like, because I actually got a really nice DM from someone that said, hey, I'm getting furloughed or getting laid off in September. And, you know, I want to make use of my time, but I also want to make sure they pay me, you know, whatever my salary is and make sure I get my benefits and whatever. And I was like, cool, you should go there with the most positive attitude and be helpful, because if you do that, they're more likely to, you know, if things turn around, they're more likely to rehire you, or if you need a referral, they're more likely to give it to you.
Yeah.
And I think for most people, it's just, they just treat their job as their job and they don't, you have to actually care.
And do you know what's even scarier, especially in these times, because obviously tons of people have been laid off, and this is why people have gripes with social assistance programs. Like, the benefits people are getting have incentivized them to not work because they're making more collecting unemployment benefits that have doubled since the pandemic started. And they're not thinking longer term, like, hey, this isn't going to last forever. So if you actually have a chance to be employed, even if it's not as much as you're making with unemployment, go take the job. Because in 3 months, the benefits are going to be gone and that job's going to be gone.
Yeah. That's the hard truth that nobody will say through this situation is a lot of these job losses and a lot of these things are self-inflicted, and Corona's a really good excuse.
Yeah.
Like if you want to blame like, lost my job, man. All I can do is drink Mountain Dew and collect unemployment. What could I do? COVID, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, no, you were a loser.
The biggest companies in the world are doing that. So we have the low-level employees doing it, and then every retailer blaming Corona.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Good one. I like that. So that's on Detour right now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you want to know is someone who does care probably more than the vast majority, but unfortunately was hit with some unforeseen circumstances out of his control. Elon Musk. So SpaceX collabed with NASA for a big launch that was supposed to happen yesterday, which was Wednesday, and it got shut down because of weather. So we'll be back again, I think, tomorrow, Saturday?
Saturday.
Sorry, I know my days are wonky there, guys. It's because we record on Thursdays. But is this the first, I guess I didn't realize the significance of, this is the first manned space launch in...
Since 2011.
Sheesh.
And it's the first manned SpaceX launch.
Yeah.
So no astronaut's ever been on a SpaceX.
God, I'd be so scared. Wouldn't you be so scared if you were one of these astronauts?
I feel like if you're an astronaut, you love it.
You've been waiting for this your whole life.
Oh, I've just seen
if
those
you're willing to
videos.
go out of space, you're willing to die.
Yeah.
It's true. But damn it, man. Like the first launch in 10 years with humans and first SpaceX ever, you're just trusting that over there and wherever they are, Hawthorne, they're just whipping
I think
up.
they went to Florida for this. They're
No,
NASA.
I mean, but where's SpaceX? Isn't it in
California?
SpaceX.
Yeah. Hawthorne has not been known to rocket science.
I got Caltech somewhat close by. Hopefully they recruit some folks from there.
What are they doing up there?
In Florida?
No, once they go out of space.
It's just at this point, like, why do we need to go anywhere? We can't even have it on a plane. Why are you trying to go to the moon?
It's true. Yeah.
So on
How
behind,
He said, "I'm gonna get the fuck out of here."
I jumped on behind closed doors yesterday, and Taylor's in Florida.
Yep.
And wherever they're launching this rocket is 2 hours away from where Taylor is.
Okay.
And the weather was perfect, so
Yeah.
he's calling bullshit.
Wow.
Conspiracy theory.
And it was at the
Elon's
time
trying
of
to
the
bring
launch
more
that we were on
publicity
call with him.
towards him.
Yeah.
Self
Wow.
and the launch.
Yeah, believable. But I also, they were saying like I would only imagine that the way like you delay a flight because there's weather in the flight path, like from here to Florida.
Yeah.
It's probably a totally different ball game.
Yeah, there's got to be some clouds up in the moon.
It's not like, oh, I'm looking around. It looks good.
You say, just to look up onto blue sky. Let's go.
So Taylor is fully converted into Florida man.
He's a
Yeah,
He's a
damn it.
Florida
He's
idiot.
buying a
I told
condo.
you, man. It's in the water.
He was talking about a condo yesterday.
He should go.
He's like, I'm going to move here permanently.
Yeah.
He's
he should
gonna.
go.
He just has to not, maybe convert out of Judaism.
It was funny. He literally took his laptop and showed the weather outside. I don't believe Elon.
Yeah.
Look at it, sunny.
That's Florida, man. Oh my God.
I think it's
man.
the heat.
It's the
The
humidity,
heat
I'm
just
telling you.
fries your brain.
And the humidity.
Crazy because like it was a big moment for Elon Musk. President came, the Ivanka and Jared and the kids came. Like everyone came. It was at Cape Canaveral where the Kennedy Space Center is, and it was like a big. It's supposed to be a big American moment, and unfortunately, it kind of fell in a bust.
Yeah. But I'd still get out.
But whatever, Saturday.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel good that it didn't happen.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The whole thing makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not a big space guy. Like I personally think space.
We're not rich
is-
enough to be in space, guys.
Yeah,
You
but
have
like
to cross
Yeah.
$1 billion.
yeah, but it's
true.
not even. But it's forget. I'm just don't care what's going on in space.
I feel like once you make $1 billion, you just are bored with Earth.
No, there's
That's
people
true.
that are obsessed
That's
with
true.
space.
Yeah, that's true too. But the people who are actually figuring out how to get there
I get that.
are
Yeah,
the
that's just.
bored. Like what's I've conquered everything here on
Yeah,
Earth.
yeah. We're not. Yeah, I'll never get to space rich.
Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, like, who cares?
No, I get, but you're not rich enough to care. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, like, it's cool, but like, it doesn't change my life.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably people like we talk about like the best Airbnb to stay at for Super Bowl, and
Yeah.
some of our listeners are probably like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah,
You know?
I agree.
Same thing, but it's a real problem for us.
Yeah. My problem is more common man problem.
Yeah.
No, I think.
Well, no.
No. You're just.
No.
You're.
Don't compare. It's not the bar isn't space or like where you're eating dinner. There's
There's
lot
a
in
big
between.
gap, right? You have to be. There's a level of richness or poorness to do. So
Yes.
Pete did. He's on a different.
Damn it, guys. We had to bleep this out last time. I had to bleep it out. Tim, mark that one down.
Yeah.
But then when you get really rich, you start doing those drugs as well.
Yeah. And then your worry becomes like, is it best to stay in Montecito to microdose?
Yeah.
Or is it more of a Santa Barbara thing? And that's a real concern.
Do you want to be in the water or do you want to be inland?
Yeah. What's better for my trip? Okay. All right. So we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Yeah.
Send in a lot of positive wishes because anything where like an O-ring can cause an explosion, I'm not into.
You guys want to take bets?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't even want
I'm
my
rooting
name.
for people to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't-
Me too. I didn't say we had a bet.
Yeah, I don't really
Jesus,
want.
Pete.
I was just.
Who's on the other side?
Okay,
There was
never
a
mind.
guy, I don't know if you guys saw, a big gambling person that bet that 100,000 people would die within 6 months of the pandemic in one big. And it
How do you-
happened only in
Where
3
do you
months.
bet that?
They're on the gambling
He
side.
probably didn't get great odds because wasn't the number supposed to be 1 million early on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Depends on how early.
Yeah. He
That's
might
true.
have
If he
bet
bet in
it
February,
Place it-
100,000 you would have gotten good odds.
And I mean, we gotta find this picture of this guy too. It's pretty funny.
I wonder who took that bet.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's great. Okay, next up in some business news that's in our genre, Boohoo and Pretty Little Thing. If you don't know, listeners, they are two of the biggest, I don't know, I would call them like the new age apparel companies.
Fast fashion.
Fast fashion, like I would say they are what took out Forever 21 and those types, them, Fashion Nova. all
Is it
these
only
things.
women?
No.
No, they're Boohoo, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty Little Thing, I think would be a tough sell.
Yeah.
But so the news is that Boohoo has bought out the Pretty Little Thing shareholders for $331 million. So does that mean they've just taken over ownership and they've bought out the majority shareholder? What happened here?
Yeah, they had a stake in Pretty Little Thing, and it was his own independent company, and now they have bought the remaining shares that they didn't own in the company.
Got it.
So the funny thing is these are both British online fashion retailers.
Okay. Seems
The funnier
close.
thing is Pretty Little Thing is started by the son who started Boohoo
So the son just sold his steak
Cup-
to the dad?
to the dad. And
You think this was like a quarantine? Like we're on lockdown. You want to strike a deal?
yeah, they're just sitting at their mansion. They're like, Dad, just buy me.
Dad, I'm so sick of this Zoom.
Yeah, just give me the 400 million.
Oh, Daddy.
I think the dad snaked the son.
You do?
Yeah,
Snaked him.
I think so. I think he took advantage of his son during quarantine, found a chink in the armor, like this guy's mentally weak, he's
Yeah.
losing it on Zoom.
They're on the
Let
same
me just-
Wi-Fi
boom.
network. He might have tapped in.
Pretty Little Thing they have a store in Melrose here in LA. During quarantine, they had something. And I drove by and there was a line
Really?
during quarantine.
Like a release?
I don't know what happened, but there was a line of people. Like maybe it was the All Saints store, but
I doubt it was
All
All
Saints
No.
store. So
And that Pretty Little Thing store is only like for like members, or it's like a showroom.
yeah, it looks like for events or something like that. But Pretty Little
Sheesh.
Thing is also one of those websites that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Similar to how a Fashion Nova. It's smaller than a Fashion Nova, but it's part of the Boohoo family. Boohoo is a multi-billion-dollar business, and they're like two British brands that like have gained popularity in America. They're showing this exit. It's just interesting to me. It's like the dad buying the son. It's just like
Yeah.
It's
that-
like a Succession.
It
very
does feel like Succession. New
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fashion.
but he has to go back and work for the dad.
Or you just take the cash and leave, right?
No way.
How weird. I wonder, I would love to know the dynamics of that.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you're like the son who finally got out from under your rich dad, started this really successful thing. Now you work for daddy.
So it's an Indian family in the UK.
Yeah.
We know a lot of Indians. Anyone knows this family? Give us some insight.
Yeah.
yeah, give us some scoop.
Yeah. Really interesting to see how like this whole dynamic. Why did it start outside of Boohoo? Why are they buying it? I think there's a story here.
Yeah,
There's
I'd
some-
love to know it. Because maybe it's all just peaceful and great. Maybe it's
Yeah.
like, hey, here's some, go grow your thing. We'll fold it in.
And
Maybe
Boo's,
they love each other.
and
Yeah.
Boo's publicly, come on.
No one's
on.
the same way I don't care about space. We know nobody loves each
Let's take
other.
those bets. We should have a betting site that's like, will people die on the spaceship? Do these people love each other? Just all the most morbid.
Is a son going to sue the dad in
Yeah.
the next 6 months?
Yeah.
If that happens, I want a show or a
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Because that is New Age Succession.
Yeah, because I think Boohoo does top line about $1 billion
And publicly traded.
and publicly traded. So we're going to start learning a lot more of the dynamics. We'll see what the position. It'll be interesting to follow the story and see what is the son's position in the company. Like, is he
Yeah.
really going up to be the succession of the father, and that's why he bought it?
or is this like a tax scheme? There's something fishy going on.
Something's not-
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll do our best. Hopefully we get some intel.
And with Indians, just slippery folks.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Explain
I wish
slippery
I wish I
There
would've
are
known
some
that.
groups of
Wish I would've known
Indians.
that a little earlier. 'Cause I'm surrounded by them.
Yeah. There's some group of Indians that are slippery.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
schemy?
Yeah.
Slippery.
Hey, careful, Taylor.
Yeah.
That's words already got you into trouble.
I'm just inquiring.
Careful there, you freaking disser. Okay. Next up, let's talk about a real poppin' business. Someone that, just went viral on social media, really took advantage of everything going on, or maybe it just happened. I'm not sure. But we saw lines, we saw people fighting for the product, we saw crazy pandemonium, and now we're seeing a 40% increase in same-store sales. I'm not talking about Supreme. I know everyone's mind might have thought Supreme.
Yeah.
Talking about Popeyes.
Yes.
I mean, on fire.
On fire.
A chicken sandwich was the best thing they've ever done.
What's crazy is that in March they said their sales were flat from a year ago. Then they said in the first quarter of 2020 their same store sales climbed 29%. And so now they're seeing a 40% pop in May now that things are getting back to normal. So these numbers are bonkers.
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 Yep.
Is this fried chicken thing that's happening? Is it here to stay? Is it a fad? What is it? You think? Oh, Pete's shaking his head.
You're saying fried chicken. You're saying
Well,
just for Popeyes in
wait,
particular?
So
or-
I'm just saying that the idea of fried chicken sandwiches, like, hasn't it always been around? Is it now just taking over the burger?
I don't think so. I don't think it's really the
What's the
product.
appeal? It's the hot sauce?
No.
The big appeal was that they released a chicken sandwich.
No, I'm just saying, like, why did fried
Taste.
chicken have this moment in the last couple of years? Like the Howlin' Rays and all this stuff.
It's just a weird phenomenon, I think, unless I'm missing something.
So it's not.
I think it was just a mix. Like it's just
Hot sauce has become really trendy. That is
Yeah.
definitely a thing.
Sure.
But so it's
But
not.
I don't think there's the hot sauce element at Popeyes. I think,
So opening a Popeyes franchise is not a good idea.
well, maybe. I think it might be because I think that Popeyes might have got a lift that's like permanent as long as they don't fuck up big time.
I mean,
'Cause
this-
who was even talking about Popeyes?
No, never.
Like just those impressions don't just go away overnight. Like I think Popeyes is just in the conversation.
My only thought when I think of Popeyes is dangerous. Like, you may just get caught up in a fight, get beat up.
Yeah. And that's also part of the marketing. I mean, people were brawling
Yeah,
over
for
a chicken
chicken
sandwich.
sandwiches.
I want no parts of that.
I think I don't know anything about this category of food because I don't eat it. It feels like fried chicken sandwiches are here to stay.
I think they are.
They were always here. It's not like
No, but like why?
Not at these peak levels. No way.
Why can't
So-
they stay at these
so-
people?
because
it's
it's
like,
also,
to
I
me,
think-
it's like to me, it's very comparable to the White Claw moment, where like it just got this moment. You're going to see a lift in hard seltzer. That's probably going to go away, but the long-term success of White Claw is going to depend on can they keep innovating? Can they
Yeah.
have White Claw Rosé next year? Can they
Yeah.
have you have a moment now because everyone's talking about White Claw, but if you just stick to hard seltzer, you're probably going to slowly fade off.
Do you
So-
guys think that any of this has contributed to the fact that fast food restaurants are the ones that are open right now?
Of
and are,
course,
like,
that's definitely like
heavily weighed
40
on?
probably should be
it's
20,
right?
pre-
But
But
they
they
saw
saw
like open back
29
up, competition starts again.
I agree, but here's the thing: fast food probably benefited in May.
Mm-hmm.
They saw 29% jump in the first quarter, and January, February,
Yeah, so
and
that's-
first week of March is normal. So then they had 3 bad weeks in March, and they still had a 29% jump. So to me, yes, there is. I don't think the pandemic had any impact for this business.
Because Burger King in the same time period of that 40% jump is down
Yeah.
in low single digits. So
Yeah.
I would generally think almost all of fast food should have an uplift.
In May, I think.
In May. So
Yeah.
why is Burger King down?
The
Burger King
Whopper's
just
trash.
sucks ass.
Because they fucking suck. That is trash ass shit. And
Yeah.
I'll never eat that.
Yeah,
Burger
that's
King is
true.
awful.
They're just
Yeah.
bad. They've been doing good marketing, but their food is
Like I'll take
garbage.
McDonald's any day before
I
I
assume
touch a Burger
McDonald's
King.
sales are up.
Gotta
They're
be.
always up.
Gotta
And I'm
be.
sure Uber Eats, everyone's just ordering McDonald's all
Yeah.
day.
Okay, well, good time to be in the spicy chicken business.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay,
we
good
should
for
open a
Popeyes.
Popeyes.
What?
Maybe we should open a Popeyes.
Yeah, maybe we should. If anyone knows any, has
I'll
any
run it for
leads.
you guys.
You? No thanks.
geez.
You're going to stick your dirty hands in the food.
Yeah, we played beer pong. Now
Yeah.
offering Costa Brava at one Popeyes location.
Fried chicken and Costa Brava, $12.
Yeah.
That's a great combo.
Okay, and then next little bit of news in the restaurant business. I'm going to be honest. We got someone filing for bankruptcy, so I'm guessing it's big news.
Yeah.
But I don't know what a Lee Payne quotient.
Yes. They're going through a lot of late pain.
Got it. So this is Le Pain is what they're feeling right now.
So Le Pain is a bakery food chain, kind of casual restaurant chain.
Le Pain.
There's a lot in California, specifically in our neighborhood. There's probably like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I think I've heard you talking about Le Pain before.
Dom's a big Le Pain guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
starting off real high class.
Well, they just let you just make a big mess there.
Which
Really?
one?
On Melrose.
Okay. Where's it? Oh, is it near?
It's next to
the
Pretty
Earth
Little
Cafe?
Thing.
Yeah.
Next to Earth Cafe.
Yeah.
Great gluten-free avocado toast, good
Wow.
coffee.
So what happened? Like that wasn't enough?
That wasn't
Everyone's
enough.
going to Popeyes?
Yeah, so unfortunately, this is the U.S. arm of Le Pain is filing for bankruptcy, and to avert a complete liquidation, they sold the business to RFI Brands, which is a casual restaurant operator, for only $3 million. The entire chain.
Sheesh. You
So
could've
they
got
must
your
have a
own
lot
Le
of
Pain.
liabilities.
Well, they're closing instantly. It looks like they're going to close like a third of the locations. No, only 35 of the locations of the 98 would reopen. and the rest will close. But they're going through bankruptcy, so I mean, they're just. I think this is just the sign of more things to come, where these casual restaurant operators that have been closed are going to find it very difficult to reopen. And Le Pun is like actually a really good brand. I mean, I enjoy eating there. And they use the other example they're using is the group that does Gordon Biersch, which it's called Craftworks Holdings. They do Logan's Roadhouse, which is a steakhouse, Gordon Biersch, and other restaurant chains. They're closing more than a third of its locations and sold the rest out of bankruptcy at a reduced price because of the pandemic. So it's like, I think this is just the beginning in the restaurant industry of like, they're thinking about reopening, and in most cases, reopening doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and these restaurants are traditionally low-margin businesses. So if these guys are on the fringes of profitability, any factor, they like midnight, half their stores are in New York.
Yeah.
When's New York going to be able to have
full capacity
business? Not this year.
Yeah.
So it's accelerating probably was already a tough business in 60 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, feeling the lay pain.
So you never went to one?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Really? Maybe in New
It's
York.
not very tasty. It's bland, healthy food.
It's bland, yeah. I
Doesn't
don't say
sound
it's
like
healthy.
my cup of tea. I mean, I'm trying to do better, but I don't know about that good.
It's good. I like it.
I might have went to the one by Pretty Little Thing, but I doubt it.
There's one in Robertson.
Right by Earth Cafe?
Yeah. Literally next door. I mean, like 100 feet.
I think all I've ever had there is the quiche.
That's disgusting.
Well, that's why they're going back. Okay, let's get into what's going on, just the corona updates around the world. First update. Now, over 40 million Americans have filed for unemployment.
Yep.
The jobless rate is huge, somewhere around 24%, they think.
Yeah, there's roughly 160 million people in the workforce in the U.S., so we've cut a quarter of that.
Okay, so there's that. Just side note, economy's on fire.
Yeah.
So record numbers.
So,
we kind of talked about it even with in our intro conversation, but it's just gnarly. And what I think is so crazy is that the narrative that you hear in the world, in the country, is not talking about the 40 million Americans. The narrative is more about like the economy being good and like we're opening up and we're testing record test numbers. And like these people also don't really have a voice in all of this.
You don't really hear the coverage of the person that got furloughed or laid off and what they're going through. And probably because the benefits are still very strong, right? Mm-hmm. Like when was stimulus check 30 days ago? People still have gotten, are still getting the added bonus depending on what state you live, you're getting unemployment. So I think that is still lingering until we hear the real pain of like society. I don't think you're going to hear that story.
And I think what's actually probably even scarier, and we definitely won't hear that story, just out of fear, undocumented workers. They don't get the benefits. We live in a state that has a large population of undocumented workers that work at all the restaurants and places we go to. They're not getting the fat stimulus checks that someone that would have worked for us that got fired or laid off, they can go file for all these benefits. And those families are in trouble. Forget what you think about immigration and illegal immigration. That's a human story.
Yeah.
They're here. They were working here. They're contributing to society. They were working at establishments we go to regularly.
Yep.
And those families are screwed.
Yeah.
But those people will also go take the warehouse job that it's not desired, or go take the manual labor job just to make sure their families get paid.
Yeah.
I think those people are actually going to turn out okay because they're more willing to accept any source of income.
Yep.
Whereas it's more that middle class white collar worker that just has been skilled out of most of their potential job opportunities. That person is going to show up in November and vote for a president.
Right. I did see Walmart, since the pandemic, has hired 250,000 workers.
Yeah, and Amazon announced today all the 125,000 temporary workers are now being all offered full-time. That means these businesses are on absolute fire.
This pandemic was probably the best thing that ever happened to Amazon.
So the way someone explained it, which was the best way, someone was like, imagine you are Jeff Bezos and God comes to you and says, what would you like to help you grow your business?
Yep.
I want every single retailer in the world shut down.
Yep.
Shut down and supply chains shut off.
And people begging for cheap jobs.
Yes.
You got it.
You got it.
You got it.
He got
it's like
cheap
him and Bill
labor,
Gates.
customer acquisition. You got it all in 60 days.
And didn't spend $1 of marketing.
I mean, that's, I think, the conversation is how many jobs and even possibilities and businesses and whatever are just going to be wiped. Look, I would argue that it was coming anyway, but like you probably could have had a good next 5 years.
Yeah, of slow death.
But damn it just ended right away. I'm saying Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos engineered this whole thing. I'll go ahead and jump on that.
Why are you
bandwagon.
throwing Bill in there? I can see you
Because this
getting
is great for Bill. Bill's been begging for a pandemic. You know, it's like if you're out there saying, trust me, this is coming, and then finally you get your proof. Think about all the support Bill's about to have for the next decade.
Yeah.
If you had to guess, where are Bezos and Lauren Sanchez hanging out?
Right now.
Yep.
They're in LA.
You think so?
You think?
But are they like PJing to the islands on weekends, coming back?
No, because I feel from when you hear all the reports is that Bezos has gotten full back engaged in the business because he knows this is it. He's gonna become a $10 trillion company now.
So you think he's working before 10 a.m.?
Yeah,
He might have had to change his ways. First Zoom call 9 a.m.
Bucks, plays a little tennis, and then gets on.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, there was all these news reports that Bezos is going to be the first trillionaire.
Easy.
I mean, God damn it.
I mean, like, do you think about it this way? Do you think in 20 years Amazon's gonna be 10 times bigger?
Yeah,
100%.
Like 100%.
That's what it'll take.
I think so. Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, holy shit. Well, there we go.
It's more like 8 times.
Yeah,
they're 1.2, right?
Yeah. So 8 times bigger.
Okay.
Easily.
This is where we.
I mean, they may happen in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on how long the quarantine lasts,
Yeah.
it could be his freaking Christmas present.
Yeah.
SARS 3.
Yeah.
It's coming January, presented by Amazon.
Christmas 2021. Yeah. SARS Prime.
Yeah.
Comes straight to your door. Oh my God. Did you guys also see? You guys might have talked about it one of the episodes I missed. Did you see that Joe Biden? That he said, if you're thinking about voting for Trump, you're not black.
Yes.
You guys talked about that.
Yeah, the T-shirts
I
are
like
on
the
sale
memes
for
better. The Trump meme's even better. He did the Ghana pallbearer with the Biden campaign, and he doctored the video saying, obviously not in the context of what Biden said.
This is why he's going to get smoked. It's like you have the black voter, and you're going to say some dumb shit.
Yeah.
It's going to have everyone be like, oh, so you're defining.
Even Diddy tweeted at Biden, "It's not that easy to get our vote."
Yeah, that's bad.
We need Diddy. He's a
big voice.
He's a big get out the vote guy.
Yeah.
Big.
Vote or die.
Yeah.
Big voter die guy. Okay, well, anyway, just wow. Next thing in wow is Las Vegas is planning to reopen in 1 week.
We're back, baby.
Let's take a trip.
Yes.
Let's go to Encore.
The nightclubs aren't open yet.
Well, okay, let's go to freaking the Wynn.
Okay.
Do a little gambling.
Yes.
Hang out with some people we haven't seen in a while and, whatever. Maybe bet on some space crashes or whatever they're even betting on there.
June 4th is the official reopen date for a lot of casinos in Vegas. It's very unclear what the whole experience is going to look like, but no restaurants, no nightclubs. I think some restaurants are open, but no nightclubs, no shows, none of that. It's really just for degenerate gamblers.
And I think it's more symbolic. Yeah. So our Vegas insider that we all know, he listens. He said Caesars is going to be closed. So Caesars is Circus, Harrah's, Link, Rio, Bally's, Paris. MGM's closed. That's Mandalay, Luxor, Excalibur, Park MGM, Aria, Vidar, Mirage, Treasure Island. So you have like a few hotels opening.
Yeah.
It's going to be a weird scene because Vegas is already just a weird scene on like a normal day. Imagine like the first crew that's in there.
Vegas during the day when you're not drunk is so disgusting.
Yep.
It just gets masked at night when you have 4 or 5 drinks.
It's true. On your way to Tiesto and you don't even realize. Gosh, imagine like next Tuesday at 4 p.m. in the casino in one of these places.
Taylor and Pete
out to get it.
I wasn't there, but some of my friends went to the casino near Palm Springs.
Sheesh. Those things have been open, huh? They never
Morongo?
closed.
Huh?
Morongo's open?
No, that doesn't sound like the one. Whatever it was, I think they said it was about 20 minutes away from Palm Springs.
What's the one in Temecula?
Chumash?
No, Chumash is Santa Barbara. Temecula has one.
Agua Caliente? No, that's Palm Springs.
I don't know.
Temecula has one. Pachanga.
Sure.
Okay. Well,
But they
listen.
said they went, they'd social distance, you wear a mask.
Well,
I mean,
I
you
guess
just have
it's
to-
technically Indian reservation land. That's
Yeah.
not governed by.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
They can
I
do
wonder if
it.
that's how it works. Can they just
Can
do
like
it?
Kevin Hart
My
go do
land,
a
my-
set there? Don't they have like comedians and stuff?
Yeah, that used to be a big like Joe Coy before he really blew up. He was doing all those places.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Check in on your friend in about 2 days. See how his throat's
Well, they
feeling.
just went and took COVID-19 tests.
You did or he did?
No, they did.
And they're good?
With the Costa Brava guys.
They're good? Or?
I don't know. They haven't got it back.
I mean, because if they have it, then you have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we have it.
Then we
Well,
have
you guys are the ones putting me at risk. Thank you very much.
it. Why?
What?
John Turgeon?
He didn't shake your hand.
You survived
He was
that.
all over you, and we have been within 6 feet of each other. So,
Listen, you
Stay
are
6
literally...
feet apart. That's your fault.
You're tackling half-naked dudes into pools. That
well,
you don't know
John
where they-
Turgeon was tackling D.
That's
Wait,
true.
Same
when
thing.
when did your
Yeah.
buddies get their test?
I think like Monday. Maybe Tuesday.
That's not checking out. They should have had it by
They
now.
should. You
I
get the
don't know.
results.
Okay, guys.
You
Look,
get it
I'll
same
check
day.
I'll check up on him. We'll get a report.
Oh, boy. Okay. And then next up, Disney World is hoping to open, but they're waiting a little longer.
Yeah,
July?
so July 11th, it looks like. That's the big date.
Disney World seems way sketchier than a casino. Because the lines...
I think Florida's just like mocking everyone, and whether it works or not, I have no idea.
Yeah, right.
Everything's open. Taylor's on the ground there. Restaurants. He said bars at 100% capacity. He goes, whatever the rule is, I don't know what the technical rule is of Florida, but he said everything's slammed.
125% is the rule. You need to have, if your capacity is 100, you
Yeah.
need 125
If you don't
people.
prove that people have been dying to come to your bar,
Yeah.
then
You can't
we're
be
gonna
open.
close you down.
And he said no masks and everyone's shaking and hugging. And so he started doing the same.
Oh, he's a full Florida man.
Yeah.
They're literally shaking and hugging and talking about conspiracy theories.
He lost 20 IQ points in the last 5 days.
100%. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll continue to cover it.
Yeah.
What's our ad this week?
Oh, baby. We are back
There
again
it is.
with this. It's not an emergency. I don't want to start the alarms, but
Okay.
we're not going to have another episode before you have to sign up for the virtual half marathon.
That's kind of an emergency. That
So
would
it's a bit of an
qualify.
emergency.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you have signed up. I promised if we get 500 signups, I'll actually run it.
We're almost at 300 now.
Okay, that's scary. So
I thought you were limiting it.
Yeah. What?
Whatever the
No,
number
June
is,
1st, June 1st.
Are you
1,000,
giving like
doesn't
free
matter.
product or something? Don't you?
It's $20.
Right.
You get a race day merch,
Right.
and then I got a bunch of brands to donate, like energy bars and
Got it.
cool little tchotchke things.
So you get a cool little box. You get to run the virtual half marathon. You can go over to thementalhouse.com, click on Running Sucks. There you'll see it next to all the cool Running Sucks merch. You'll see the sign up there for the half marathon. $20. And you
I
get to
found
run.
someone DM'd me and said they will run the whole thing and video me. So they're gunning for your job.
Wow.
That's fine because I could do some free time.
He's like, I'm in pretty
great.
good shape. I'm like, all right, then cool. You can
It's
videotape
great.
me.
Yeah.
What kind of
That's
equipment
pretty
do you
good.
have to run with? Can it just be a cell phone, or you want a full blown?
No, I need like HD shit, man. Like,
Yeah, you need a
These shoot
stabilizer.
forward.
yeah. I want to stabilize.
You
Like,
basically need like how Floyd Mayweather has like the
Yeah.
caravan of
Yeah.
cars.
When they shoot Showtime.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's fine.
Let's go, champ.
It's just me being able to drive a car in front of you
When I
while
go
recording
urinate-
is a
no,
bit
that's what
difficult.
you should do. You should have a Suburban in front of you,
Yeah.
and every mile someone has to come out and pump you up.
yeah. Sing a song.
And
Yeah,
just
like I remember Floyd Mayweather. One of his people told me that they could only refer to him as champ.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to like, come on, champ, you got this, champ. They had to just
You
drive
should
next to
make
him.
me refer to you as
And
something
I want
nowadays.
and this the car only plays "The Champ is here."
Yeah, on repeat for the whole marathon. Yeah.
2 hours.
Loop.
Just drive everybody.
What's the other one? You're like,
the
oh,
champ.
win. Fuck everything else. Yeah.
The champ is here.
Oh, that's good. Okay, all right. So go sign up. And
And then go check out the Running Sucks merch. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Bunch of sweatpants, t-shirts, long sleeves. Nobody actually
That's actually
likes
something
running.
I can get behind. You know, I
Yeah,
like what
'cause you
guys
hate
did there.
running.
I
Running
fucking
sucks.
hate it.
Running fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm into it.
So this is a great line for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I started doing recently?
What?
I bought it because I saw my friend Javier post jump rope.
Yeah.
I bought a jump rope.
Great
Jump
workout.
rope's good.
Oh yeah, jump
And
rope's
so it's actually not. I mean, like it's a different type of cardio than running. Like so, I did
It's
3.
full body.
Yeah, I did 3 sets of 100 today just to kind of get used to doing it. But
Like
it's
100 jumps.
100 jumps.
Got it.
great for the footwork. Little shuffle.
So
Yeah.
that's about
Boxers do
40
it.
seconds.
No, that took me. I was not going fast. That took me like 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
No way it took you 2 minutes.
That's
Yeah,
not possible. You can't jump once a second.
That's what I was jumping.
Or
No,
once
So
every
you
2
jumped and
seconds.
stopped, jumped and stopped,
Yeah.
jumped and stopped.
Once every 2.5
it
seconds.
took me 1 minute to do 100
Did you
jumps.
Because when
Did
I
you
used
mess
to
up?
go to my boxing
No.
class, or even when I train at my gym,
1 minute for 100 jumps.
I do 3
Yeah,
to 4
I did
minutes.
1 minute for 100. That's 60 seconds. It's not. It's not
Just
one per second.
2, 3, 4.
We got to pick up that pace.
We gotta get that cardio up.
High impact.
Come on,
High
Floyd.
impact on my knees.
Come on, win.
The champ is here.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry to take down the mood here.
Yep.
But you guys were getting a little too excited. Let's talk about George Floyd.
Okay.
So this guy in Minneapolis who was killed by the police. Here's the thing. I just want to say this too. Like when we recorded the last episode, I hadn't watched the video yet. And I also think the real like kind of reaction started coming out that night. And I didn't realize like the severity. I don't want to say the severity of it because somebody died. But
How
like
gruesome it was.
yeah, like there's something, and this is a really touchy, anything is touchy for me to say, but like, not that every one of these isn't insane and can't believe that it is happening, especially in 2020. But there's something about this one that feels like enough is enough. Like
Yeah.
there's complete madness in Minneapolis. In LA, they're shutting down the 101 freeway, protesting, blocking the freeway. It feels like really dangerous. And it feels, I don't know if it's because everyone's been in quarantine, or maybe we've had a break from these things. Maybe it's because of the way it happened. It was probably the most gruesome like thing. It was just a very slow, drawn out thing, all
Yeah.
on camera. For whatever reason, I'm glad that that's the impact, but there's something here that feels different than the other instances. And I've even talked to some of our employees and stuff like that, and people are really, really devastated, understandably so.
Yeah, I think it's the other issue is that you had the Ahmaud Arbery case that happened a few weeks ago,
Yep.
which was still unclear what exactly happened there, why they even were chasing this kid. Then in the last like 48 hours, you had the George Floyd incident, which was in Minneapolis. And for the backstory is he bounced a check. Do you understand?
But they said, but wasn't
No,
it
it's
he paid
a
with a counterfeit $20
counterfeit
bill?
Oh yeah, sorry, counterfeit
$20.
$20.
Well, is that even proven that he did do that?
That's what
Or-
they claim. He was
They
at a
claim.
deli and he used a counterfeit $20 bill. Cops were called. And I think what you're referring to in terms of just how gruesome it was, it's because how brazen the incident was.
Yeah.
Like people were filming saying like the dude's gonna die.
Yeah.
And he's saying he can't breathe. And this cop had no issues.
You're sitting there with a blank stare, knowing you're on camera. That's what's insane.
Yeah.
And once again, I feel so like touchy the way I talk about this stuff, but like, you know you're on camera and you're sitting there slowly choking a dude to death with a blank face. And while another guy looks and blocks him and makes sure that nobody, like, that is so crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that's it. I mean, maybe there's something less gruesome about like a cop panicking and shooting someone. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't even want to get into it because it's all terrible. But
Yeah, the problem is that this guy used a counterfeit $20 bill. I mean,
And there was a video.
I've used counterfeit $20 bills.
No, so full.
I spent like my whole 14-year-old year trying to perfect a counterfeit bill on my home printer.
Okay, and
So
nothing.
we used to do warehouse sales back in the day,
Yeah.
and people would pay cash, and we would do a lot of business. This is for 5-4.
Yeah.
I vividly remember we took the cash and went out that night. We went to Area Nightclub right
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
bought drinks at the bar.
Yeah.
One of the hundreds that was given to us was counterfeit.
Yeah.
We just got like, hey, it's a counterfeit bill.
Yeah.
Like, do you have something else? And we're like, yeah.
No, it was a little more serious than
Well, did
that.
it get more
It
serious?
got pretty serious.
Yeah, maybe-
They're like, oh, we're going to call the police. You're using counterfeit. I'm like, no. I explained the scenario. But like, the point.
Our lives were never at
You
risk.
weren't even in handcuffs.
No, we got our vodka cran and we kept it moving.
Yeah.
And
And
this is the problem is that like people keep like unfortunately people don't understand this unless you're a black person, right? Where they're just treated differently in every part of life. And now we're having the revolt of people. So you saw protests in Minneapolis. It's clearly getting violent now. And everyone's like, oh, looting doesn't get you anywhere.
I think it does.
I disagree. I actually think you might have to burn the city down.
Yeah, I agree.
Because right now, status quo has not worked.
Yeah.
For any black person in this country, turning the other cheek, trying to take it through legislation, it doesn't work. There's nothing going to happen if we just sit and watch these people just get murdered day in and day out. We saw even the video of those kids who had a WeWork office in a gym in Texas?
It was in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
The
that
black
That was in
kids.
Minneapolis again.
And the white guy is a VC.
Yeah.
All these
He's
fucking VCs,
he's a
man.
venture capitalist, because the only reason I know he's a venture capitalist is Alexis from Initialized Capital, Serena Williams' husband, tweeted like, this guy's a VC. He was basically telling these 4 black kids, you don't look like you belong here at this gym. And he's like, we pay rent. Which office unit? And he's like, I'm not telling you.
He said,
Call
I'm
the
going to call
cops.
911.
Yeah. And then now they kicked him out of the office building.
Yeah.
But here's the problem is like, what is the real consequence for Amy Cooper in Central Park? She lost her job. She's going to get another job.
Yeah.
She'll get,
Just go down to the South. You're a hero.
Yeah.
Like this VC guy, what's his real consequence?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
What is the consequence of a counterfeit $20 bill for a black person? Death.
And that's my point is like, it should be like for instance, if you get caught drunk driving, the penalty is very severe.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't hurt anyone, because you can very easily can do that, right? I really feel like minor racism like that should be treated the same.
Yeah.
Because it's that 911 call that unfortunately leads to these things happening. It's these sort of things that cause way more damage. And I think just to like, it's like if someone got pulled over for drunk driving in my eyes and you said, well, you could have hurt someone, but you didn't. So go head home.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man, it feels nuts. And I do think I have officially switched from rioting and looting and that isn't the right move to maybe it is.
Yeah.
Because I think that part of that is a really nice thing for people in power or white people or people removed from the situation to say, to just try to get it to go away.
Yeah.
And a peaceful protest doesn't really, I haven't
What
seen
is a
much.
peaceful no, nothing has, what's being accomplished from a peaceful protest? Now that the city is burning, they're moving their ass.
Yeah, and to your point, Drama, I also think this is the time we have to overcorrect the other way.
Yeah.
So there needs to be real punishment. Like that white guy who falsely called 911 or called 911 on these kids
Should go
who
to
belong
jail.
there. Yeah, that needs to have there needs to be repercussions to that.
Yeah, like acting like I'm going to call the police because just you're suspicious and
But
you don't have
even
any
Karen,
facts.
Even Karen, Amy Cooper, calling and lying. She's on video lying to the police.
Yeah.
And screaming, saying, I'm being attacked.
Yeah.
That should be, that is illegal, but that should be punished.
Yeah, and nothing's going to happen to her. And this is why people are getting frustrated is that, okay, the guy, used a counterfeit bill. Slap him on the wrist like you would do anyone else.
The point, I brought up in the last podcast, it doesn't matter what law he broke, he was restrained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have ran over someone.
Yeah.
That's not how the justice system works in the United States of America.
And they keep saying, and this is so true, is that these freaking white school shooters, man.
Oh, they just walk right
will
out.
murder 20 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
And you walk out
Insane.
because you're in handcuffs.
Yeah.
And there's a video, because one of the big things was, he resisted arrest. He was really blah, blah, blah. There's a video that the deli released of him getting out of his car, being restrained, put up against the wall. He slid down the wall into sitting position, and you see all the other cops pulling up. Like, they obviously just went at this guy.
Yeah, he resisted no arrest.
Yeah.
So you have to charge them with murder.
They haven't even been
And
arrested.
I want that Asian guy and anyone else around needs to be charged as well, because if I'm sitting murdering someone, and Anand is blocking for me to make sure no one sees or says anything, Anand goes to jail for murder.
Yeah.
That's, if I weren't a cop, I would be an accomplice to that murder.
Yeah. All day. They need to, like, not only this guy, obviously this guy needs to get charged for murder. If he doesn't, I'll go to Minneapolis and help break shit.
Yeah.
But everyone else needs to be.
And this is a big political opportunity for both candidates. Someone can take advantage of this. I mean,
come on, Joe Biden, if you're not black.
Yeah, and so Joe Biden can take advantage of it and show up in Minneapolis and help. Donald Trump can, in my opinion, steal the election.
Yeah.
Trump posted it.
And all Trump has to do, arrest those 4 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
He does it, you kind of, because even like white supremacist people are like,
he's calling for Obama to get arrested.
Yeah.
And if he just called for the cop to be arrested?
Yeah, he'd be a hero.
He did do the soft approach and tweeted and said, Department of Justice and FBI are looking into this.
Yeah.
Too soft.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is an opportunity for him.
He doesn't care what he's just breaking the rules anyways. But arrest him and kill him. He says that, people probably be heroes.
It's wild, man. It just feels really dangerous. It feels like this is not the time to be on your fuckery and piss people off, man. And
this is what we were talking about. We're like, we didn't, obviously, for the last 2 years, we never talked about a pandemic causing a recession.
Yeah.
Civil unrest, to me, was the scariest thing that could potentially happen with income inequality. Now you have income inequality, racial inequality, all coming at once. If this happens 3 months from now, the whole place, everything's burning.
Yeah. That's when I saw the videos from Target of them like lighting shit on fire and going crazy, I was like, this feels like...
Yeah.
Because all you got to do is flip that switch. Like there was a video of people breaking the windows out of the cop cars with the cops in them.
Yeah.
All you got to do is flip the switch of like, who cares?
Yeah.
What are you really going to do? I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And it gets real nasty real quick.
Oh, yeah. It gets completely out of control. And so, I mean, they need...
I mean, that nothing to lose attitude is why we have terrorists.
Yeah.
They radicalize low-income people in different countries because they have nothing else to live for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a scary time right now.
All right. So we will obviously keep an eye on that, but I think there'll be obviously a lot more coming. Okay. Let's jump out. Let's jump to, Donald Trump versus social media.
Yep.
So what happened here? Twitter, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, is saying that he's going to fact check Trump, or there's some sort of stepping in there on his tweets.
Yeah, so there was something, a tweet that Donald Trump sent about that if we do all mail-in ballots for November, there'll be massive voter fraud. Mm-hmm. And that's not the case. Mm-hmm. That's not, if you look at historically how mail-in ballots have been, you have not seen massive voter fraud. So Twitter, people started complaining and saying that's incorrect. So Twitter put underneath his 2 tweets, fact check these, on your own. Like, verify that this is, I forgot, I'll find exactly what they wrote. But they pretty much put two marks on those tweets and saying, you should do your own homework on this one. Yep. We don't necessarily approve
this. And it's
this.
a link to an article that says he's lying.
He's lying. And
so just to back up, the Trump playbook, the way he wins convincingly is voter suppression. So the easier you make it for people to vote, the better chance he has to win.
Yeah.
So we can debate Sleepy Joe and you ain't black. It's pure voter turnout. Yeah. If we have more voter turnout than we did in 2016, Biden wins. If we have less voter turnout, Trump wins. Yeah. I think it's just that simple.
Yeah.
So how do you suppress votes? Not making it easy.
Yeah.
So Trump is now in this war with social media because Twitter is his only medium of talking to the world. Yeah. He doesn't do press conferences anymore. He vaguely will take questions, rarely takes questions from reporters. Like
Yeah.
even if he does, he's just going to badger the reporter. So if you take this, if you start stifling him in this, he's going to lose his goddamn mind, which is what he's done.
And he just signed an executive order, literally just now, to not. So apparently, the way early legislation for the internet and social media was, social media was kind of protected from litigation on like in the covering of like free speech, that they're just there's a platform and this and that.
Yeah, they're not publishers, they're a platform. And there's like a Section 230 law that basically protects Twitter, Facebook, all these platforms, Grand Theft Auto, all these people. And they basically were like, as long as it's not causing harm to society, like serving kids or serving child porn to people, like really terrible, dark shit in society, they're not really responsible for it. And
Donald just vetoed that just now. So now Twitter, Facebook are now open and liable for the content on their platforms.
So it's just gonna be drawn out up to the Supreme Court, because this is more grandstanding. Like nothing's happening. He signed this executive order. No one even knows what it is. No one knows how you're gonna even implement any of this stuff. So I mean, this is just him trying to put everyone on notice.
But I think what he did do also is he's obviously lying in most of his tweets, right?
Yeah.
But there are other people lying on their tweets. So if you're gonna call me out, just call everyone out. And then that's not gonna happen, right? Because you're not gonna just all of a sudden. Do you know how many people are lying on social media? Like the guy that takes in front of the Lamborghini, that guy's lying.
Yeah, put a tag on that.
Yeah.
You might want to look into this. He drives an Acura.
Exactly. It's opening such a Pandora's box.
Yeah.
And what Trump did was like, I know you can't police that. So I'm just going to pull you to a corner. You're not going to fact check my shit anymore until I get elected.
Yep.
I think he's going to win this battle.
And Zuckerberg's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wait.
We're not here to be the arbiters of truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zuck went on Fox News. Interesting choice of network.
Amazing.
He's smart.
To basically say he disagrees with what Twitter did. And then what he also said was, censoring us is also reflex reaction. So he obviously doesn't benefit by this executive order, but was the first to call out Twitter. Here's the thing. It's just Facebook's just a better company and they have better engineers.
Yeah.
They can be the arbiter of truth via their algorithm, not via this little fact check. So Facebook knows how to stuff sensational news down their platform, because that's what gets clicks and mislead people via engineering, not Facebook being editorial and tagging things. And they get around it. They're just smarter. And he's taking advantage of that by calling out Twitter, because they don't have that ability.
Yeah. Oh man, Jack has had a weird couple years.
Yeah, he's up against some real.
He's in a weird place.
Yeah.
In this whole thing, because he also is like kind of the one stepping out and like doing the interviews and trying to make the moves, but then kind of not. That's a tough one.
It is. It's really tough.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be a big. I don't know that actually. I was going to say it's going to be a lot of news, big thing. It might just kind of blow over.
I feel like Trump just had to do something because he doesn't want to look like a bitch.
Yeah.
Because Twitter kind of punked him.
Totally.
So he had to just get in the Oval and sign some bullshit.
Some shit. Yeah. Okay, well, good job. Okay, I got to run.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guys talk about families because it's not my area of expertise anyway.
Yes.
And then winners, losers content. I'm out of here. I don't have coronavirus.
Do you have your winners, losers content?
I do, actually.
Spit them off for us real quick.
You know what? My winner is all the My Body, My Choice out to party people, because I don't know, man. Right now, I'm not seeing any numbers. Pete looks healthy.
I've actually never felt better.
Yeah.
I am kicking.
Yeah, Taylor's living his best life down in the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe all these people at the bars are really the ones winning. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to them.
Okay.
My loser is very clearly racists.
Yep.
The fact that in 2020 we're dealing with racism, because it is born out of such ignorance, and there's so much information. It's easier to connect with people than before. It's easier to understand people's lives than ever before. And if you still are just scared of a person or feel like someone is truly beneath you because of the color of skin that they were born in, you're literally just a complete piece of shit. And I can't believe it even exists.
Agreed.
My content's...
Let me guess, a book.
It's a book. It's actually the Encyclopedia Britannica. My content is really... I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm really late here, but I want to give a late layup. Sorry for the wordplay. I finally am watching The Last Dance. It is absolutely
welcome to 2000, welcome to the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, which feels like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I say Last Dance felt like
feels
a
like
year
I'm like,
ago.
hey, have you guys seen this Tiger King thing? So yeah, but damn it, just incredible. And I think here's the one interesting take that I just think is interesting is psychologically, without the pain of trying to please your dad, that crazy burning pain as a kid, you never get a Michael Jordan. Because so much of what Michael Jordan became was birthed out of insecurity and pain. And so it's just an interesting conversation about pain. You don't get it. You don't get Michael Jordan without
some sort of pain. Yeah.
Did you finish it?
No.
How
The
far
Lance.
3 episodes, halfway.
along? Oh, it gets way
No,
better.
part of the way.
It's
And I did
interesting.
have a quick little conversation with
Okay.
Tim Grover just about to be a part of.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you talked to him after?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's blown away, but he's a pretty humble dude.
It's really interesting though because the Lance Armstrong documentaries now started to come out. They did the first 2 episodes last weekend, and his dad was talking about the same thing. His stepdad beat him, but he was just he was the reason that he became so great.
Yeah.
Was
But
he was a
because I
cheater.
pushed him so
I want
hard.
a documentary.
Yeah. But
That's
he was
very
a
different.
And Lance
before
Armstrong's
he was a
generally
cheater,
known
he
as
was
a pretty
freak of
bad
nature.
dude.
Huh?
He's known as a pretty bad
Yeah,
guy.
I know.
No, I don't even care about the
defending
bad
that.
dude. He's just a cheater.
No,
If you
okay,
cheat.
yes, there's cheating, but he's a freak of nature
But
in
no,
general.
I think the argument was that everyone was cheating. He cheated the
Yes.
best.
Okay.
That's the entire thing.
the
It was
best
just
cheater.
it's just he got caught cheating.
I mean, look, if
But
everyone
everybody
around
cheated.
you is
Yeah.
skimming the books.
Right. But
You're just gonna learn how to skim
he was
better.
fucking kicking grown men's asses at age 15.
He's a monster.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but his stepdad said it was because of him and the way that he treated him.
Yeah,
growing
that's a
up.
book I'd like.
So it's
That seems like something Malcolm
same thing.
Gladwell could tackle.
Yeah.
It's what when you look at billionaires, high achievers,
Shitty
what
dads.
creates it? It
That
almost
looks
seems
like-
like a deformity in your mental. It takes something
Off.
really brutal.
You have to be off.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
Loving
it.
family, you're fucked.
Loving family. Man, if people love you and you're
Yeah, if you're
well-rounded,
if you're happy,
sign
you're
up for a
screwed.
job.
You're
bud.
fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle manager for life.
If you're lucky.
Get your cheese sandwich, your soup, and keep it fucking moving.
Yeah, damn it. Okay. All right, I'm out of here. Thank
All
you
right,
guys.
see you later.
Have a good weekend.
Later.
All right, so my winner of the week. My winner of the week is every mutual fund manager in the world.
They're on fire.
They're on fire. They literally have done nothing.
Yep.
They probably bought more stocks when it dipped. And we are just a nose hair away from record highs on almost every big company in the world.
25% unemployment. Every small business is virtually shut down.
Yes.
Record highs.
I mean, this goes into the history books forever. It's one of the most fucked situations.
I don't know. I'm sure it's happened before, but I just don't remember a time how quickly the stock market went from Dow 17,000 to Dow 25,000 in 45 days.
Yeah, it's nuts. Even yesterday on Wednesday, the market was down significantly. The NASDAQ was getting beaten up. Big caps were just getting beaten up. And I was like, oh, a little correction. By the end of the day, it was whoosh, all the way up.
Baby.
The
And
SpaceX rocket didn't go out.
Boom.
The stock market rocket did.
Damn right.
I'll give it to Davey Day Trader because in the beginning he was trying to use his brain.
Yeah.
And was like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then he realized the stock market only goes up.
Yeah, it only goes up. If you could understand that the stock market only goes up, you can make money. It never goes down.
Yeah, it's good.
That's the winner.
Because it's funny because they're now pricing companies on 2022 revenue. So when 2022 is a disaster, it's 2024 and just keeps going up,
Yeah.
up.
They're futuristic companies.
My winner of the week is Denzel Washington.
Wow.
So Denzel...
Training Day 2 come out?
No. He was driving in LA, saw cops approaching a homeless man,
And he beat the fuck out of them.
He thought he must have sent. It's all on video. We can't hear what's going on, but we can see the video. Gets out in his mask, and he basically like brokers like the peace deal. If you're, I don't know what they were approaching the homeless man, but I think he was inspired by what's going on. And
did they recognize it was Denzel?
I mean, I could tell it was Denzel from. I mean, it's Denzel Washington, Los Angeles.
I know, but like in a mask,
LAPD.
it's hard. I can't tell any. I saw a friend the other day walked up to your mask. I thought he was trying to rob
let's
me.
assume he pulled up in like a
Every time I
Bentley.
go into a store, I think I'm going to rob them. The mask on.
Well,
But,
that's
I mean,
that's you have a
Do you
problem.
think Denzel pulled up to the scene in a Civic? No, he probably had a Bentley. He probably had, you know.
Yeah, I guess if you hear the voice.
Yeah, they hear the voice.
And
It's
the laugh.
iconic. And so they arrested the man, but it was peaceful. No force was used, and
That's good.
good for Denzel.
That is nice, Denzel. My loser of the week is the white supremacist in the Minneapolis gym.
Yep.
He, to me, is the epitome of what's wrong with this country. There's so many amazing things that this country is incredible at. Those types of people, unfortunately, are the worst. He and I want to make sure we say his name because we have to ruin his life.
Fuck that dude.
So the guy's name is, he calls himself a CEO. Sounds like just a Twitter bio handle to me. Managing partner of venture capital and private equity firm F2 Group. His name is Tom Austin. And he's a fucking loser.
He is absolutely a loser.
Why do you care?
Like, think of
To even
I hate to do like the kind of regional thing, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to be an asshole. You're a loser if you're doing venture capital and private equity in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Get to the big leagues, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking amateur.
Yeah.
Probably big dick and everybody in Minnesota thinking you're the
big-
shit.
That's why he can't get any good deals, so he has to just punk some kids.
Yeah. What a loser.
Loser. And he's working at a WeWork gym. I mean, come on. You can't afford a gym membership, you broke motherfucker.
Your life needed to be ruined. He was asking for it.
He's a joke. And it's just so angry because, I mean, I've been in plenty of situations where people have asked me, "Oh, do you have your keys here? Do you have this?" Yeah, motherfucker, I'm staying at the Four Seasons. Don't ask me why I'm standing here. Like, it's insane to even have the audacity. I'm gonna tell listeners everything. Unless someone is stabbing someone to death in front of you, do not question why the fuck people are there
Anywhere.
for whatever reason. Like,
Right.
if you have a problem, then leave.
Or call the cops and let them do their job.
Yeah, like, you don't need to, or just be happy that someone else is at the same place.
And the
as
best
you.
is seeing
Just mind your own damn
older
business.
white people in first class when someone young with a backwards hat walks in. They get so shook.
Yeah, so nervous. Like the way
You must be a gangster.
What are you scared of? Everyone went through security.
Yeah.
What, I'm gonna just beat the shit out of you right when I'm gonna rob you as I'm walking by?
Hey, by the way, you're rich.
People are they're just so out of touch with reality. I think.
Oh my god, it's
definitely
just insane.
It's the worst part.
That's my loser.
My loser, it dawned on me while recording Behind Closed Doors, are millennials. So Taylor, who grew up in Beverly Hills, California, he knows what LA is about. He has now convinced himself that Tampa, Florida is this like oasis of a dream of a life.
Yeah.
Like for
Tampa-
people in their mid-20s to not have experienced LA the way we experienced it the last 20 years, to ever conceptualize Tampa, Florida is this place that everyone needs to go to. I just feel bad for them. They never got to experience the magic of LA.
And here's the real issue is that not even being on the sense of, oh, snob that like you're out in Tampa Bay, whatever. Like Taylor has the means, he has the access, he has the information. So really, Taylor's the loser.
Yeah, because he knows what LA's about.
And he knows the reason why he has the business he has today is because of where he grew up.
Absolutely.
He went off to college in the East Coast, but it's LA raised what it's in him. Like his hustler mentality would never have been raised in Tampa Bay.
maybe he's gonna become a billionaire because he's like the Minneapolis venture guy. He's going
Taylor's gonna be walking down in that country club of his. I'd be like, what are those black guys doing here?
Taylor becomes that guy.
Then we're gonna see a video of Taylor videotaping. He's the male Karen.
Karen in
Shots
training.
Let's see if he listens to this and gets all the way to this
What's
point.
he call him? Carl?
Carl? Kevin?
Kevin's good.
pretty white. Yeah.
That's good.
Content
recommendations. I'm gonna tell you. I watched 2 movies,
Okay.
and I'm not even sure I'm gonna recommend them.
Oh.
One's called.
This is content
Well,
recommendation.
because I watched it and I wanted to recommend it. So
Okay.
I watched half of The Wrong Missy, which
Right.
everyone says is
so fucking funny. It's so stupid, but
it's so stupid.
it's so funny though.
She's so annoying.
I mean, just know that you're walking into the pure stupidity.
I know, but like I like, the Adam Sandler camp
Yeah.
and their genre of movies.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just so old and so removed I could not. She just drove me nuts.
Oh, I couldn't stop
My
laughing.
wife literally is like, you need to turn this fucking thing off.
I couldn't stop laughing.
I also watched The Lovebirds with Issa Rae and Kumal from
Oh yeah,
Big Sick. Is that the movie we did?
yeah. Big Sick, Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. And that one also started a little rough, but then it warmed up on me, or I finally ended up liking it. But also just wacky. But this is the beauty of Netflix. They just greenlit like these 2 movies that are kind of whack job movies, but they're mildly entertaining. Like I'm gonna end up watching the rest of the Missy movie too. But it was just, she's just crazy. She's Jim Carrey. She's literally Jim Carrey. She's a young female Jim Carrey. Like, I never thought that character could be recreated. And I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my.
I mean, for her to pull off that is not easy.
No, she's nuts.
Yeah.
She's
which
absolutely.
is why I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you are probably insane.
Yes, she's insane.
It's good. My content, it's not for you.
Okay.
So you might as well just tune out.
I'll tune out.
But Ali Fakari's here, one of our best friends, and I think he'd appreciate it, and hopefully others will too. I went down like a rabbit hole of looking for podcasts to listen to because there's no sports, and a lot of the podcasts I listen to are sports related. So there's a podcast called Hope Through History. It's by John Meacham, who's the famous presidential historian, with Doris Kearns helping with research. And I listened to the first episode. It's about FDR and the Great Depression. And it really does give you hope through history. When you talk about what FDR did, battling polio, he was paralyzed, and the way he was able to inspire a country, it was refreshing in the sense that we're in this time right now where everyone hates each other. The president is trying to divide us. Everyone's trying to divide us. 50% of the country hates each other. And this was back in the 40s. They were unifying the country. He was talking about race inclusion in the 40s. That's like, it's just not unheard of in that time. And I recommend it. They're going to talk about Winston Churchill, JFK, and the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Wow.
Just a good way to learn history. If you don't want to read history books, turn on this podcast.
I love history. I'm probably not going to listen to any, but I do enjoy.
And the voice is
actually enjoyed reading
But
history.
the voice is really soothing. You fall asleep right to it.
That I'm interested in.
What's the name again?
Hope Through History. That's it.
Pete, anything else?
No, not really. Behind closed doors, go ahead and check us out. We had Anand on yesterday. We talked about a number of different things. I don't know. Taylor might never come back. He gives us some breakdown of his travel experience going to Florida, his airplane experience. People on planes going to Florida, they have no safety measures.
Does he have to be quarantined when he comes back?
Absolutely.
No, because it's not international travel, right? And U.S. is not quarantining anyone. So he,
Are parties illegal?
where?
Here.
They're suggested not to have parties, but that's what we talked about last week.
Right.
The cops may cite people.
I
But
might try to find a party this weekend. See what's going on.
you should go to Scottsdale.
Yeah, well, next weekend.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Do you have an Airbnb or what?
Yeah, we're looking into it.
Okay.
Figuring it out.
Will he be allowed back?
It's 10 feet apart.
Look, doing my research for the greater good.
Masks.
Mask on.
You do what you have to do, and we'll see your consequences.
We just test him as soon as he gets back.
Yeah, test him for a lot of other things too.
Okay, that's it.
All right, we're done.